Ladies, have you ever felt like a magnet, but instead of attracting what you want, you keep attracting exactly what you don't? You didn't go looking for him. You didn't chase him. You were simply being yourself, and there he was again. A different face, maybe a different name, but somehow always the same story. Stay with me until the end of this video because the most important revelation of all is waiting for you there. Whether we realize it or not, our first love story began long before we ever dated anyone. It began with our father. The psychologist Carl Jung suggested that every woman carries an unconscious image of the ideal man, shaped almost entirely by her father or the male figure who raised her. In simple terms, Dad becomes the blueprint, not consciously, but deeply, quietly, and powerfully. And here is where it gets fascinating and sometimes heartbreaking. If your father was an alcoholic, there is a strong chance you have found yourself drawn to men with addiction problems, not because you want that pain, but because that dynamic feels familiar. Familiar feels safe to our subconscious mind, even when it is actually dangerous. If your father was absent, you may spend your life chasing men who are emotionally unavailable, unconsciously recreating that same distance, hoping this time the story ends differently. But what about those of us whose fathers were wonderful? My father was, in my eyes, almost perfect. He was faithful, loving, a devoted provider, a man of faith and community. And he loved my mother until his very last day. So naturally, I went looking for exactly that man. And that search, noble as it was, came with its own painful surprises. Because men like my father are rare. And when we set that as our standard without realizing it, we can spend a lifetime either settling for less or walking away from good men because they don't match a blueprint that may have been impossible to replicate. Now let me tell you something that took me years and more than one marriage to understand. Strong women are magnets, but not always for the right men. I have observed this in myself, in my friends, and in my family. And I want to be very honest with you today because I think you deserve truth more than you deserve comfort. Both men and women carry masculine and feminine psychological traits, regardless of gender. Masculine energy is associated with leadership, decisiveness, protection, and provision. Feminine energy is associated with receptivity, nurturing, empathy, and collaboration. And here is the key. Healthy relationships thrive on polarity. When both partners operate primarily in masculine energy, the romantic and sexual tension simply dissolves. So what happens to the strong, independent, high-achieving woman? The same masculine energy that makes her successful at work may be working against her in love. She leads, organizes, fixes, provides, and does it beautifully. But that very energy sends an unconscious signal to a very specific type of man. Not a strong man, a dependent one. I have personally heard men declare openly that they prefer strong, independent women. And I want you to listen carefully to what that sometimes really means. They prefer a woman who will not need much from them, a woman who will carry the weight, a woman who will provide and protect them. But here is the other side of that coin, and I experienced this firsthand while dating online. When a strong, intelligent, articulate woman shows up in a dating space, the men who are looking for a damsel in distress don't just walk away, they run. I watched it happen repeatedly. A woman who knows her worth, expresses herself clearly, and needs no rescuing can leave certain men feeling not just intimidated, but genuinely terrorized, as if her strength exposes something in them they would rather keep hidden. And what does that tell us? That those men needed a woman who was less than so they could feel like more than. That is not love. That is insecurity wearing the costume of attraction. A secure man wants a secure woman. A masculine man wants a feminine woman, but the man with predominantly feminine psychological traits seeks exactly what the strong woman projects: someone capable, someone solid, someone who will not fall apart. Someone, in other words, who will quietly mother him. And here is the painful irony that I know personally and that I have watched play out in the lives of women I love. That same strong woman, in the deepest, most private corner of her heart, longs for exactly what she cannot seem to find: a genuinely strong man, a protector, a true provider, someone who makes her feel safe enough to finally put down the weight she has been carrying alone. But her strength keeps calling in men who want to add to that weight, not help carry it. Relationship coach Sammy Wonder, who has worked with over 19,000 women worldwide, confirms exactly this. Many high-achieving women become so skilled at managing, organizing, and controlling that they forget how to simply be and receive, and that learning to embrace feminine energy is not about becoming weak or less successful, but about creating balance. The question is not, why do I keep attracting the wrong man? The deeper question is, what am I projecting that keeps calling him in? Now, I want to step away from the theories for a moment, because as valuable as psychology is, life is messier than any textbook. And there are some very real, very concrete, very worldly reasons why women end up with the wrong man that nobody talks about openly enough. Reason number one, the economic target. A woman who has achieved financial independence and stability becomes, whether she wants to or not, a target, not for love, for opportunity. I have seen this with my own eyes. Men who present themselves as partners but are quietly auditioning for a lifestyle. Men who are attracted not to who you are, but to what you have. And because they can be charming, attentive, and appear strong in the beginning, they are extraordinarily difficult to identify early on. The painful truth? Some men are simply looking for someone to provide for them, and a successful woman is the perfect candidate. Reason number two, loneliness is a terrible advisor. When a woman has been alone for a long time, truly alone, in that quiet, aching way, her standards shift without her even noticing, not because she is weak, because she is human. Loneliness creates urgency, and urgency makes us accept things we would normally never accept. We rationalize, we minimize red flags, we tell ourselves nobody is perfect, when what we really mean is, I am tired of being alone. I understand this, I have lived this, and I want you to know there is no shame in it, but there is danger in it. Reason number three, confusing intensity with love. This one is perhaps the most seductive trap of all, and younger women especially fall into it. When a man pursues you obsessively, when he calls constantly, when he makes you feel like the center of his entire universe from day one, it feels like love. It feels like finally being truly seen and chosen. But that intensity is not always love. Sometimes it is possession dressed up as passion. Sometimes it is a man who needs to consume you, not cherish you. Real love is consistent, calm, and steady. It does not feel like a roller coaster. It feels like a harbor. Reason number four, the fixer syndrome. Many strong women, and I include myself in this, have a deeply ingrained instinct to fix things. We see potential in people. We see who someone could be with the right support, the right love, the right encouragement. And so we stay. We invest. We pour ourselves into someone's potential while ignoring who they actually are right now, today, in front of us. Potential is not a relationship. You cannot build a life with who someone might become someday. You can only build it with who they are today. Reason number 5, the familiarity trap. Remember what we said about the father blueprint? It goes even deeper than that. We are drawn to what feels familiar, even when familiar is painful. If chaos, emotional unavailability, or instability was part of your upbringing, a calm, reliable, genuinely good man can actually feel boring or even suspicious to your nervous system. So you unconsciously gravitate toward the familiar storm. Not because you want pain, but because peace, real, steady, trustworthy peace, feels foreign. And foreign feels unsafe. This is perhaps the most important thing I will say in this entire section. Sometimes the wrong man feels so right simply because he feels like home, even when home was never a safe place. Red flags we ignore. Before I give you the red flags, I need to say something that most relationship creators are too afraid to say out loud. And I am not afraid. We have talked about the strong woman who longs for a genuinely strong man, a real alpha male, a protector, someone with presence, confidence, and power. That desire is completely natural. It is deeply wired into us as women. But here is where it becomes dangerous. In a world where too many men have lost their authentic masculinity, where the genuinely strong, emotionally healthy man feels increasingly rare, many women unknowingly make a devastating substitution. They confuse aggressiveness for strength. They confuse control for protection. They confuse obsession for passion. And in that confusion, they find themselves not with a strong man, but with a psychopath, a sociopath, a narcissist. A man with what psychologists call the dark triad: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy combined. I am going to call these things by their name today, not to be dramatic, but because soft language has cost women their dignity, their sanity, their freedom, and far too often, their lives. Let me give you the numbers. Every day, across the world, women are killed by the very men who claimed to love them, 1 every 10 minutes. And in the majority of those cases, the red flags were there from the beginning. They were ignored, rationalized, excused, because he seemed so strong, so passionate, so certain about her. So before we talk about red flags, I need you to understand this clearly. A psychopath does not look like a monster. He looks like everything you ever wanted at first. That is what makes him so extraordinarily dangerous. Now let's talk about what to look for. Red flag number 1. He is everything, everywhere, all at once, immediately. In the very first weeks, he is calling constantly, declaring his love, making you feel like his entire world. This is called love bombing, and it is one of the primary tactics of narcissists and psychopaths. It is not romance. It is a calculated strategy to make you emotionally dependent before you truly know who he is. Real love grows. It does not explode. Red flag number 2. His words and his actions never match. He tells you he loves you, but disappears when you need him. He says he respects you, but speaks to you with contempt. He promises and delivers nothing. Always, always believe what someone does, not what they say. Red flag number 3. He makes you responsible for his emotions. If when he is unhappy, you automatically feel guilty, that is a serious warning sign. His emotional state is his responsibility, not yours. A man who constantly places the burden of his feelings on your shoulders is not loving you. He is controlling you. Red flag number 4, gradual isolation. It begins subtly. A comment about your friend. I don't think she's good for you. A complaint about time with your family. Then slowly, systematically, your world shrinks until the only person left is him. Isolation is not protection. It is a prison being built one brick at a time. Red flag number 5, control disguised as love. I just love you so much. I need to know where you are. I check your phone because I care about you. I don't want other men looking at you. This is not love. This is ownership. And it is one of the clearest predictors of what researchers call intimate partner violence, which in its most tragic form ends in femicide. Red flag number 6, your gut tells you something is wrong. This one is the most ignored of all. Women are extraordinarily intuitive. We feel things before we can explain them. That quiet unease in your stomach, that moment when something he said didn't add up, that feeling of walking on eggshells without knowing exactly why. Trust that feeling. It has never lied to you. The mind rationalizes, the heart hopes, but the gut knows. I said at the beginning of this video that the most important point was waiting for you at the end. Here it is. You are not weak for having missed these signs. You are not foolish for having loved someone who turned out to be dangerous. These men are skilled. They have spent their entire lives perfecting the performance of being exactly what you need. But now you know. And knowing, truly knowing, is the beginning of everything changing. So now you know the blueprint. You know the psychology. You know the red flags. You know the names of the monsters that hide behind charming smiles. But knowledge without action is just information. So let's talk about what you can actually do to break the pattern once and for all. Step number 1, get radically honest with yourself. This is the hardest step and the most important one. Ask yourself these questions and answer them honestly when you are alone and quiet. What did love look like in my home growing up? What did I normalize that was never actually normal? Am I attracting men who need me or men who genuinely choose me? There is a profound difference between a man who is with you because he needs you and a man who is with you because he deeply, freely wants you. One is dependency, the other is love. Step number 2, learn to sit with the discomfort of the unfamiliar. Remember what we said about the familiarity trap? If chaos and emotional unavailability feel like home, then peace and stability will feel suspicious at first. When a genuinely good man shows up, consistent, calm, reliable, emotionally available, your nervous system may actually resist him. He might even feel boring compared to the intensity you are used to. Do not run from that man. Sit with the discomfort. Breathe through it. Because what feels unfamiliar is not necessarily wrong. It may simply be something your heart has never been given permission to receive before. Step number 3, observe before you invest. One of the most powerful things a woman can do is slow down. We live in a world of instant everything, instant connection, instant intensity, instant declarations of love. But character, true character, only reveals itself over time and under pressure. Before you give your heart, your time, your body, and your energy, observe. How does he behave when things go wrong? How does he treat people who can do nothing for him? A waiter, a stranger, someone he has no reason to impress. How does he handle disagreement, frustration, disappointment? A man's true nature is not visible in his best moments. It is visible in his worst ones. Step number 4, know your non-negotiables and honor them. Every woman needs what I call a personal foundation, a clear, honest list of the things she will not compromise on. Not a fantasy checklist of perfection, but a true foundation of what she needs to feel safe, respected, and genuinely loved. Write it down, be specific. And then, and this is the part most women struggle with, honor it. Even when you are lonely, even when he is charming, even when every part of you wants to make an exception, your non-negotiables are not walls keeping love out. They are the foundation that makes real love possible. Step number 5, heal your relationship with receiving. This one is especially for my strong women. You are extraordinary at giving, at doing, at providing, at fixing. But how are you at receiving? Can you let someone take care of you without feeling uncomfortable? Can you ask for help without feeling weak? Can you allow a man to lead without immediately taking over? If the answer is no, that is your work. Not because something is wrong with you, but because the woman who cannot receive will always unconsciously push away the man who genuinely wants to give. Practice receiving in small ways every day. Let someone open the door. Accept the compliment without deflecting. Say thank you instead of, oh, it was nothing. These small moments rewire something profound inside us. Step number 6, trust your intuition above everything else. I said it in the last section, and I will say it again here because it bears repeating. Your gut has never lied to you. You may have talked yourself out of listening to it, but it has never been wrong. Before you silence that quiet inner voice with logic, with hope, with loneliness, with the fear of starting over, pause, listen, honor what you feel before you explain it away. That instinct is not paranoia, it is wisdom. And it is the most powerful protection you will ever have. I want to take a moment before I let you go. Think about the woman who pressed play on this video. Maybe she was curious. Maybe she was hurting. Maybe she recognized herself in every single word. And maybe for the first time, she finally understood why. That woman is brave, whether she knows it or not, because it takes courage to look honestly at our patterns. It takes strength to admit that some of the pain we have carried was not entirely someone else's fault, but the result of wounds we never knew we had, blueprints we never knew we were following, and signals we never knew we were sending. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are not bad at love. You are a woman who has been doing the best she could with what she knew, and now you know more. I have been married 3 times. I have loved deeply and been hurt deeply. I have been the strong woman who carried everything and secretly longed for someone to carry something for me. I have missed red flags that were waving right in front of my face. I have confused intensity with love and control with protection. And I am still here, still learning, still growing, because that is what we do. We do not give up on love. We get wiser about it. If this video resonated with you, please share it with a woman in your life who needs to hear it. Your sister, your daughter, your best friend. The woman you know who keeps finding herself in the same story with a different face. Subscribe to Avoiding Drama for honest, real conversations about relationships, life, and everything in between. And leave me a comment below. I read every single one. Tell me, which part of this video hit closest to home for you? Until next time, keep growing. Your future self awaits.